I love them. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Steph, and today, still festive, but exciting, we're going to be talking about my favorite 2017 releases. Yay! I'm excited to talk about this. There's a lot of books on this list I'm excited to talk about. I think One I Need to Move, I think that was actually 2016. I'll do another video talking about some of my favorite reads of the year. But this list is specifically dedicated to books that came out in 2017 that you may or may not have heard of. So, we're gonna start talking about it. I hope you're ready, because I sure am. I think, like I said, there's a lot of books here. First up, we have a semi-definitive list of worst nightmares by Crystal Sutherland. This book, so good. The man who may be death. Oh, the family who has been cursed by the man who may be death. And how they get rid of the curse and how the curse affects them all. It is such a good read, you guys. I love this book so much. It was definitely one of my favorite books of 2017. And plus, look how fun the cover looks. And the spine. Look at that little skull on the spine. Like, the cover is what really drew me to this book. It looked really interesting, and then the whole plot sounded really unique, and I was there. I pre-ordered it. It came a day early, and I was screaming. It was awesome. It's a really fun one if you guys are interested in things like... I don't even know how to describe this book. There's also some really important messages in here, and there's other, like, important things that this book brings up in a really interesting way, and I think it is very important. I think this is a very important book from 2017 that more people need to talk about because I haven't seen anyone talking about it. Can we get some big booktubers in here talking about this book, checking this book out? Because I feel like it is very important. I don't feel like it gets enough attention. Okay? Next up, we have Library of Fates. Don't know why I said it like that, but whenever I see fate, it's just like, you choose your own fate. It's brave, you know? I'm probably butchering that accent. I'm sorry to have offended an entire race of people, but I want to watch Brave again. This is Library of Fates. It's a story of a princess who is she is a princess. She's trying to escape her fates. I don't know how to describe this book. I got to read this, but this is another one I got to read early through Penguin Random House First Reader Program, and I loved it so much that I actually went and bought myself a copy. Because they don't send you physical copies, guys. They send you like a digital one. It only lasts for about a month, and it goes away. I wanted to be able to read this whenever I wanted. I would say the author's name, but I don't want to butcher it. But The Library of Fates is such a good book. I found it so compelling. It was such a quick read for me because it was so compelling. And look how pretty it is under the dust jacket. I mean, purple and pink aesthetic. Yes, please. Check. It is so damn pretty. And the color gradient on the cover. Come on. Come on. Pretty as heck. This cover I think this cover is beautiful. And then look at the back. I think it's beautiful. I love the story hidden within it. I love the twists and the turns. It was such a good book, you guys. It was so good. I would go more into the plot, but I feel like saying stuff about it would spoil it. Just check it out if you're interested in fate. Got to find your own fate. I should stop trying to quote Brave. Moving on, we have our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. It's beautiful, isn't it? Now this one, I listened to the audiobook right after it came out. My God, did it destroy me. It was amazing. I had to have the physical edition to put next to my copy of this Savage Song because look at the cover is so beautiful. I love the blue. And I think it fits like what happens in the story very well because I felt a bit blue after reading it. And it's just so pretty. I love the covers of these books. I also love the UK editions. I low-key want to get the UK editions of these books too. But it's fighting myself like I already have 2 copies. Do I really need 2 more copies of the same book? Yes, I do, because different covers. I don't really, but... Our Dark Duet, the sequel to this Savage Song, the Monsters of Versailles duology, that I read both of them this year. Oh my God. That was just incredible. I want to read more by Victoria Schwab. That made me want to read so much more by Victoria Schwab. So much. Next, we have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, a very recent book. One that I read in a day. I love this book. I love, like, it was so different than John Green's other books. It was, how do you describe this book? There's another one that dealt with topics that I feel like, I love the fact that it's John Green, so it was widely publicized, and a lot of people read this book because it's John Green. I think there was, like, the whole, I think he did a good job of tackling what he talked about. It was very interesting to watch these thought spirals continue on their downward slope. And I don't know, I can't talk for other people, but I've had those thought spirals, like, not to that extent of what happens to our main character, but, you know, when they just don't stop and they just keep going and you get stuck inside your own head and things are just horrible. I could relate to that. I could relate to parts of this book, and that's probably why I really enjoyed it. And I just got so sucked into the story. Like, the description they give you does not do that book justice at all. I did not want to read it based off of the description. The only reason I picked it up, as I've said in past videos, is it was at the library the day after it came out, and my brain went, John Green, get it. So, that's where it ended up, in my hot little hands, and then I got myself a signed copy from Walmart. Real MVP, Walmart, I love you. This one is 2017, right? I think it was the very beginning of 2017. I don't remember. Yep, this is from 2017, so it counts. Stranger Than Fanfiction by Chris Colfer. It came out in February, didn't it? I believe it did. This book was so damn fun. I got it off Book Depository for, like, Super Cheap. Was on sale, and I was like, yes, I've been wanting to read this book ever since it was first, like, introduced. And the story inside of it was so damn good. It was, like, I know I'm just being, like, really, really inarticulate. Is that a word? I don't know. Just kind of gushing about these books and not really saying much or saying too much or just focusing on certain parts, but it's just talking about books I really enjoyed and things I really liked and get me excited. And this is one of those books that was a fun premise. You had fun characters. You had topics getting tackled and stories going different ways. And it was really interesting. I really liked it. I really, really liked it. It's one of my favorite books of this year. I love Chris Colfer's writing. I've read 2 of his books now. I want to read more of his books. My thing almost fell, so that's why I kind of ducked. But I love Chris Colfer's writing and the fact that he's, like, signing on to make more books. I want to read his middle grade series. I want to read more of his stuff. I'm so excited. I love Chris Colfer. That's it. Chris Colfer appreciation coming to a close. We can go to the next book. I love Chris Colfer. Next up, we have Forgotten by Kristen Street. Now, this one, I've said many times, I just randomly stumbled across it on the Kindle, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pick it up, and it was one of my favorite books. This is another one that I read in a day. And then, talking to the author more, I've interviewed that author. If you would like to see my interview with Kristen Street, I will leave it in the icon as well as the description down below, because that was such a cool thing to do. I'm still so appreciative that I was like, hey, that she would say, hey, yes, I would love to, after I reached out and said, hey, would you like to do an interview on my channel about your books? And she's like, I'm so down, and internal screaming happened with me, and we planned stuff out, we got videos going, and it actually happened. I got to interview an actual author. I've actually gone to interview 2 authors. I've also interviewed Mr. Gerhard Gerke, who has written several books, but the books that we talked about were his Supervillain High series. It's a series. I can't speak. His Supervillain High series, which isn't even over yet. We have 3 books, and there is a 4th coming soon. If you want to check out my interview with Mr. Gerhard Gerke, you can check that out in the icon or the description down below. And now that we're done with that self-promo, because I am self-promoting garbage, we can get on talking about Forgotten. Fun. So this book has to deal with waking up with no memory, trying to find this place that she has a pull towards, finding a family, it's so good. So good. So good. This is an indie author's highlights. I will call it, because this is not this is a self-published book. This is an indie published book, so it didn't really get that much big things throughout book 2. And I'm always talking about this book. I'm talking about Gerhard Gerke's Supervillain High series. I really want to talk about more indie authors. I want to interview more indie authors. I want to interview indie bands. I've reached out to a few. One I contacted and they said yeah, and then just haven't. They ghosted me for like 3 months. Hopefully they'll get back to me, and I don't want to call them out because I love them, but hopefully they'll get back to me. I really hope they do. I'm trying to reach out to a few others. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down below some of your favorite indie authors or indie bands, indie artists. I love to interview them, and if you like my style of interviewing, if you checked any of my interviews out, I only have 2 so far, but I do want to make more, as I've said. Let me know down in the comments, or like self-promote yourself, be like, hey, I'd love to do that. Here's a thing that I did if you want to check it out, and I'll check out your thing. How did this turn into self-promotion? Again, I'm garbage. I'm a garbage human. Anyway, forgotten. This one is actually a signed copy from the author that she sent me for promoting her books and some of my videos. Some of my very early super cringe videos where I filmed in front of my door. We don't talk about those times. Next up is Alex and Eliza. Oh my god, I love this book. One sitting. 6 hours, one sitting. I know a lot of these have been like one sitting so far, but I was so hyped for this book. When I first found out it was a thing, I immediately went on to Amazon and I read as far as I could into the book. And I decided I need this in my life. Really bad. Really, really bad. Really, 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 really bad. Hamilton trash, need book. Very nice book, need in life. Yes. And you know what else is great about this book? Ginger Hamilton. They did it. They kept him a ginger as he was in real life. Don't get me wrong. I love Lynn as Hamilton. But Ginger Hamilton. Yes. Ugh. The love story of Alex and Eliza. There were some things which is like, that's... yeah, okay, I'll accept that. But for the most part, I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm sad there were certain characters from the musical that didn't make an appearance in the book. But I'm also okay with that because it was focusing on Alex and Eliza. And there was a lot of Eliza. And that girl, I love her. She's amazing. The Schuyler sisters. Angelica, Peggy, Eliza, work. I know I've done that 2 videos in a row now. But hear me out, like, they're amazing in this book. The sass that they have together, they can take a man down in 30 seconds flat, if that. Like, they will take you down with their sass. They're looking for a mind at work. I'll stop now. Finally, we have one that I got from an owl crate way early in the year. And I actually unboxed the owl crate that I got this in because the only owl crate I've ever gotten. I unboxed it on my channel if you want to watch that cringe-worthy video, icon or description down below. And that is Eliza and Her Monsters. And it's the exclusive Owl Crate cover. I can't talk today. It is the exclusive Owl Crate cover where you have the yellow instead of, I think it was a teal, like on the spine. But with Owl Crate, it was yellow, and I was iffy about it at first, but the yellow was really growing on me, and I really enjoy it. So Eliza and Her Monsters is about this girl who makes an online comic, and it's huge. It is a huge comic. What's even better is that the author of the book, Francesca, she's actually been making the comic. If you go to her Wattpad, she has been creating this world within the world, if you know what I mean. And she's like, hey, I can make this a thing if you guys support me, and I want this as a book so bad. Monsters C, I believe. It is so so good. But anyway, Eliza and Her Monsters is really good. It is such a good story. Again, we have someone dealing with anxieties and other things, and things don't get solved right away. Things don't just turn happy with the turn of a few pages. No, things take time. Things take chunks of pages to get resolved, and I really appreciated that. I thought it was, like, I really appreciated that. The fact that it wasn't just a quick, oh, it's solved, nope, no need to worry. No, you're left with that anguish for a while. You're left, like, feeling... How do I talk about books? I don't know. I'm only a booktuber who's supposed to talk about, like, books all the time on the channel, but, you know, you know. Do you know? Because I don't know. Okay, we're gonna move on. That's all I've actually got for you guys today. Those were my favorite books that came out in 2017. And I love them all. They are all my children. I accept them all in my life. I love them so much. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite book that came out in 2017 was. Because I know I didn't read a bunch of books that came out in 2017. But I also did read some other ones, and there are others that I didn't mention here, mostly because I didn't want the video to be too long. So, as I did mention, I've Gerhard Gerke's books. I've read several arcs from Of Tomes. I have a few Of Tomes books. Yeah. I've read a lot this year. I've read 30-something books. Okay, maybe not a lot compared to other booktubers, but I started in March, okay? That's when I really started getting into the Goodreads, counting my books, and the channel popped up in, June, July. So, for the amount of time that I've been doing it, I think it's decent. It's not the best, but it's decent. So, I'm gonna leave it at that before I ramble more. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely day/night. And before I go, I'm going to ramble a tiny bit more. Don't forget, you can check out the last video I posted right here, and another video right here. You can subscribe by clicking my face right here. And yeah, I'm going to do the slash again, even though I already did the slash. I hope you have a lovely day/night, and I'll see you later.